Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So it's that time of the month again. It is Boxycharm time, and you guys know the drill. You know how these things go. I say this every single month. I'm testing out all the products in this month's box. I'm gonna let you guys know what I like. I'm also gonna let you guys know what I don't like, and I hope this is something you're interested in, and please keep on watching. Okay, you guys, so the first thing in this month's box is this black, is it a gel liner? It's called Blacklist Gel Liner, and it's by the brand Pretty Vulgar. And first of all, look how cute the packaging is. I mean, come on, it is so cute. It's like this little ink pot. And then this month's box also came with all of these brushes right here. Let me open up the first one because I believe that goes together, and the reason why we got it was because of the black eyeliner. So it came with these three brushes as well by the brand AESTHETICA, which I've never heard of before. It also came with this big fluffy brush by the same brand, AESTHETICA. So the three-piece eye trio set retails for $45, which is pretty expensive, right? And the bigger brush is their P12 face brush. It retails for $27, and it says it's with synthetic fibers that allow for maximum control. The P12 face brush is perfect for creating a seamless look. So just right off the bat, I would say this type of brush I would use to maybe contour, although it is a little bit too fluffy for contouring in my opinion, but I would maybe use it to apply blush and some powder. But we're definitely going to get back to this brush later on in the video. But first off, I'm going to start out. I already did my eyebrows and my eyeshadow off of camera, so my eyes are ready to go in with some black liner. So let's just see how this one works. You obviously just screw it open. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it looks like your standard gel liner. And just to go back over the brushes right here, this one is a spoolie, which I obviously love, and is to brush up your hairs. Although I love a spoolie and I use them every single day, I don't necessarily know if I'll grab for this one because my eyebrow pencils, they usually have one on the opposite end, so I just use that one. It's just easier, you know. Also, if you travel, why bring two, right? But yes, I definitely love a spoolie, and again, that's just to brush and control your hairs on your eyebrows. So that's definitely a great brush. I highly recommend. This one is an ankle eyeliner brush that I usually don't use. I personally don't wear a lot of winged liner. I love the look. I just don't really like it on myself very often. If I do decide to do a winged liner, I definitely don't think I'll gravitate towards this type of brush because, like I said, it is a little bit thicker and a little longer, and therefore, in my opinion, harder to control. But I would use this actually for underneath the eye to put on eyeshadow or tight line, like really close to the waterline. So I would use it for something like that. But I will test out the gel liner using the third brush in the set, which is this fine, very fine brush right here. And also this one is definitely, if I do a winged liner, I would use something like that to do the winged liner for sure, because when I go out, I love to wear eyelashes, as you guys know, so I always put on a black liner to kind of like hide the lash band. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And let's dip it in. Ooh, it's nice and creamy. And I know pulling on your eye is not recommended, but I always need to do that when I do eyeliner. Wow, I definitely have to say the eyeliner goes on so smooth and creamy. The brush is, I don't mind doing a liner with this type of brush. It is just a little bit too long for my taste, but it definitely does the job. I believe they carry the brand Pretty Vulgar in Sephora. I definitely really like this eyeliner. It goes on so nice and black and smooth. And I actually don't mind applying it with this brush, although I probably would prefer it to be a little bit shorter. But this combo works great together, I have to say. I'm very happily surprised. And like I said again, the eyeliner retails for $24, and the brush trio set retails for $45. So already right there, you got $70 worth of products. So let's move on because so far I'm really excited. So I want to get going and look what else is in the box. And the next thing in the box is by the brand COVERFX, which I love, and I'm super excited about that they put this in this month's box. COVERFX is such a great brand and it's sold in Sephora. I am, however, a little bit nervous about trying this one out because I tend to like hydrating primers, and this one is a blurring primer. So I'm sure, let me just see. It says it's a blurring primer that instantly minimizes the appearance of pores and fine lines to create a super smooth, flawless airbrush look. And these are great. The only thing that I'm hesitant, I don't necessarily like to clog my pores, which I know I do anyway with all the makeup we put on our face, but the pore filling primers, they sometimes also, they do give you like a nice effect. I just personally prefer a hydrating primer, but we shall see how this one works out. I might end up loving it. Also for me with pore filling primers around this area where my pores are larger, that's sometimes where I have issues because once I put on the concealer and I blend it in, it tends to just come off. But we'll see, maybe I've just had bad luck with the ones that I have tried. Okay, let's open this up, take off this little thingy. This is what the tube looks like. Let's see. Okay. And it comes out almost like a foundation. Definitely has a little bit of that color to it. Okay, and it doesn't really smell like anything. I'm gonna mostly put it in the areas where, of course, my pores are larger. A little bit on my forehead. And it feels like a typical velvety pore filling primer. It does feel a little bit drier than what I prefer for a primer. Of course, the real test is applying a foundation over top. So I'm gonna go in with my favorite Giorgio Armani foundation just because I know how that usually performs on top of my hydrating primer that I usually use. So let's go ahead and see how this one feels. So the foundation went on pretty smooth. I can definitely tell the difference from this primer to the one that I usually prefer. I don't know if it's bad or good yet. I really also with primers, you want to wear them throughout the day and see how they perform underneath your makeup. There can be different reasons why you like them or dislike them. I've definitely used pore filling primers in the past that I could tell right off the bat that they weren't any good for me. Once I applied my foundation, it just kind of like came off in this area right here. Let's go ahead and use some concealer on the areas where I usually have trouble. Also, really quickly, I need to mention the COVERFX Blurring Primer has a value of $38. So again, I know COVERFX is sold in Sephora and I love that brand. Let's go ahead and blend this out. This is definitely better than the other pore filling primers, I should say, that I have used in the past. The concealer went over top pretty nice and smooth and blended out as it usually does, so that's a good sign. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish my under eyes and I'll let this sit for a little bit. I'll be back at the end of the video and give you my final opinion on this blurring primer. So the next thing in the box is this Sculptor Palette by the brand PUR. Okay, so it looks like it has 2 highlighters and 2 contour shades, bronzers. Let me just show you guys. The contour shades do look a little bit deep for my skin tone, but I saw a video with somebody using this and supposedly they didn't appear as dark as they do in the palette on the skin itself. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna use the brush that I typically like to contour with. Okay. And we leave that right there in the hollows of the cheeks. we don't drag down the contour too far. It is a little deep, but if you just go very light-handed, at least if your skin tone is similar to mine, it can definitely work. And also it is a little bit warmer than the contour shades that I tend to use. I'm gonna use my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm gonna use that big fluffy brush, the AESTHETICA P12, to bronze up my face. It is nice and soft, this brush. It is nice and soft, but I don't really think it compares to my bronzer brush that I usually use. That's the Morphe R2 that I love, 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 because you can definitely see the difference in the shape. This one is like nice and tapered, and it just seems like this one displays and lays down the bronzer a little bit more than this one, whereas this one, it just feels like you're almost massaging your skin. It feels really nice. I just don't feel like it really applies the bronzer the way I like it to. Let's just, for the sake of this video, apply a little bit of brush with this, a little bit of blush with this brush as well. God, every time, guys, every time. Blush, brush, blush, brush. I think I like it better for blush than for bronzer. It's definitely a nice brush. I don't hate it. I'm not crazy about it. It's a nice brush. You know, and it's funny sometimes when they sit there, all of a sudden you find a different purpose for them and you end up loving them. Yeah, let me just say, I think I said in the beginning, but let me tell you guys again, the P12 face brush has a value of $27 for one brush, so that's pretty expensive. Okay, you guys, you know I just need to bake all of this. It wouldn't be me without a little bit of baking on the cheeks. I swear, I can't do my makeup without doing this. And while we let this sit to bake, I'm gonna go ahead and start using the highlighter. I'm gonna go ahead and use this shade right here called Originator. I do have to say, in the palette, they do appear a little bit glittery, but sometimes it changes once you apply it to the skin. Pretty. I just want to give my nose a slight contour. And the PUR Sculptor Palette has a value of $30. I have to say, I'm not crazy about this palette. I don't think it's anything special. I mean, I guess it's nice when you travel. You do have your contour shades, bronzers, and highlighters all in one. So I would never say not to use it again, because it is small. It comes with a mirror. So the packaging is nice. It's nice and light. Like I said, you get the mirror. So for traveling, I would definitely use it. And I don't dislike it. It's just not my favorite. If I'm home doing my makeup, I definitely know that there are other products that I would gravitate towards. But yeah, I think it's a nice little palette, and yeah. Okay, you guys, and for the final thing in this month's box, it is a lip gloss by the brand Han. This is what it looks like. And the color is definitely really pretty, and I'm excited for this because these are definitely colors that I tend to gravitate towards. I don't wear a lot of color on my lips in general, and if I do, they're definitely very close to my natural lip color. But let's go ahead and try this baby on. And the lip gloss retails for $15. And the applicator is a pretty typical lip gloss wand. Smells good. Like coffee. I think a lot of lip glosses smell like coffee. I don't know why they choose that scent. I'm not complaining, but It feels so good on the lips. It doesn't feel sticky. It doesn't feel sticky at all. It just feels nice and smooth and moisturizing on your lips, and it does give a fair amount of pigment as well without being overwhelming, because honestly in my lip glosses I don't like too much color. This one I can tell you right now I'm definitely going to be wearing a lot. This is like right up my alley. The color's up my alley. The right amount of pigment, the way it feels on the lips, it is so nice and so moisturizing. Oh my god, I love this one. And it says on the cap, healthy and natural, so even better. Okay, you guys, so these were all the products in this month's box, and I added it together. I needed to write it down, add it together, and the total value of this month's box was $179. Is that awesome or what? I paid $21 for it, and I got $179 worth of products. So I am a very, very happy girl, especially because this month's box was so great in my opinion. Let's go over the products really quick one last time. Like I said, the gel liner, love, love, love. It went on so smooth, so easy. I actually know that I'm going to be using this a lot. The 3 brushes I also really like. I think that the value is great. Love this brush. Like I said, it could have been a little bit shorter, but I know I'm going to use it. And the spoolie, I love it. I might not use it as much because my brow pencil already comes with a spoolie attached. But yeah, I think these brushes are great. The face brush, on the other hand, I wasn't crazy about. It wasn't that I disliked it. I just don't think that it deposited enough color, especially with the bronzer on my entire face. I didn't mind it for blush. I definitely know that I'm going to be using it again. It's not going to be my favorite brush. Like I said, it was $27, so I'm going to put it in my collection, and I'm going to definitely find a purpose for this brush. And to the COVERFX primer, I have to say so far, I mean, I haven't had it on that long, maybe about 45 minutes to an hour, but so far so good. I don't dislike it. I really don't. I mean, for a blurring primer, for a pore filling primer, this is actually the best one that I have tried. Like I said a few times already in this video, I do prefer a hydrating primer. It is a little bit more drying, so for those of you who have oily skin, I'm sure you're gonna love, love, love this primer. And the highlight and contour palette, like I mentioned, I'm not super crazy about it. I don't dislike it. I think it's great. Like I said before, I think it's great for traveling because this way you have a few highlighters, a few bronzers, contours, whatever. You have that with you. You also get this nice mirror on the back. So for traveling, I think this is great. I'm going to hold on to it for that because it's just easier to have one palette and you just pop it in your bag versus bringing like 4 or 5 different contour shades, bronzers, and so on. So I do think it's great for that purpose. Is it my favorite contour and highlighter palette? No, it's not, but I definitely think it's great. The price is great, and I do like the brand PUR. So overall, I think this whole box was just pretty good to me, and I'm happy with all of it. The last thing in the box is probably my favorite. Is it my favorite? Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. So the last thing in the box is this lip gloss that I'm wearing right now. The color is right up my alley. I think it just deposits the right amount of pigment without being sticky. It feels really nice, almost like a lip balm on my lips. It doesn't feel tacky at all on the lips, and I love it. I love the color. And yeah, is there anything in this box that I didn't like? Honestly, no. I honestly liked everything in the box. Not everything was my favorite, but overall this was an amazing box for me. Like I said, the overall value was $179, and I paid $21 for this month's box. So this is definitely a win for me. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Other than that, have a great day or night wherever you guys are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.